So on the main card, right? 3 fights, then our 2 title fights. Now, I will probably say the worst fight of the night was a little bit of a surprise. It was the welterweight clash between Santiago Santiago Ponzinibbio and Jeff Neal. Now, not a terrible fight, but I think the big thing with this is now Neal, very crisp hands, right? Crisp hands and always looks efficient. A lot of power. Ponzinibbio, he likes a war. Right, but Neal, first round, Neal's doing a pretty good job. Ponzinibbio is trying to get the war started. And then we go to the second round, and Ponzinibbio, he's pushing the pace. Neal, he's doing a lot of backing up. We're not seeing a lot from Neal, which was confusing. Now, come the third round, right, in the intermission, Saif Saeed, for this MMA head honcho, he really lets Neal have it, which is good, right? It's good, you want to see that. You want to see a coach really like that fighter, let a fighter know what needs to be done, right? What needs to be done. And after that, we did see Neal come out and really up his pace. And once he upped his pace, boom, he controlled the fight and he looked good. He looked good at this point. But yeah, it was an odd situation. It was definitely an odd fight. And you did wonder why Neal seemed a little, I don't know, lethargic, maybe? Because I think in the Magny fight, we saw Neal just not be as productive as he needs to be. And that's when Neal seems to have difficulty. But we did see that change in the third, so that was big. Now, it went the distance. It went to a split decision. But yeah, Neal, I do feel Neal did win that fight. Was close, but yeah, I mean, what we saw in the third round from Neal, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see, and hopefully going forward, yeah, he keeps that form of energy. Right now, that was the last fight before the title fights. Now, the main card, that one went to edition A. The first 2 fights, they did not. They did not. Now, again, I mentioned in the prelims there was a lot of talk about Dominic Cruz, Pedro Munez, and their placement on the card. Now, a lot of that talk came from the one Sean O'Malley, right? Talking about how the Sugar Show was going to take over, and that's why he's on the main card. That's why he's opening things up. Now, people also wondered about the opposition. Julian Pavier, definitely tough. But people thinking, hey, what about some ranked opponents for O'Malley? You know what I mean? What about that? But remember, Julian, 3-fight win streak, right? 3-fight win streak, beat Kyler Phillips, O'Malley's training partner. So wasn't going to be an easy test. Probably the toughest person O'Malley has fought. And Pavier, a black belt, right? But, I think we've seen, and if you watch, right, because O'Malley competed in quintet, and we've seen his ground game, and he looks good. If you've watched training footage with O'Malley, he trains jiu-jitsu a lot. He even enters jiu-jitsu tournaments, right? So this fight, it was an interesting one because if Poirier wins, whew, changes everything. Changes everything. Mali wins. Hey, we are off to the races, right? And this fight starts. O'Malley's striking is so crisp, and he uses his length extremely well. He's one of the few fighters that really know how to use it, and he's striking, mixing it up, head body. Now Poirier is attacking the legs. He hits a few really hard calf kicks, which you did wonder, be like, oh, is this gonna fuck O'Malley up? Because O'Malley wasn't checking the kicks. But Poirier, he didn't throw a lot of them. Didn't throw a lot of them, but you wondered, could this be problematic? Well, people, the answer is no, because O'Malley stuns Poirier with a right, stuns him with a right, gets him on the fence, and just unloads. Now, he'd put together some real nice combinations earlier on in the fight, but man, once he smelt blood, it was a wash because man, he just put it on. Pave dropped him. Pave he gets up. O'Malley drops him again and just keeps it going, just throwing shots until the referee jumps in and calls it a night. But yeah, Sean O'Malley really put a stamp on that performance, really did, and showed people, oh, the Sugar Show ain't no hype, baby. You know what I mean? Ain't no hype, and you gotta say, who the fuck is next, right? Because you gotta rank Sean O'Malley now. You gotta rank him, and yeah, there's some interesting ones. Now, with Cruz winning, you wonder, will they try and make O'Malley Cruz? Huh? Now that fight could definitely headline a fight night. Could definitely headline a fight night, right? So next up, we've got a flyweight clash. Cody Garbrandt's debut to be intact, right? To be intact. To oh my god, I can't speak, people. Woo! To be a fact, right? And he was going up against Kai Kara France. Now, this is an interesting one, right? So, Kara France, won his last fight and won it well. First round stoppage of Rogero Bontorini. And Garbrandt, coming off a loss against Rob Font. And in that fight, he just never got going. Font just kind of dominated him. And look, we know the problems. We know the problems Garbrandt had been having with COVID and just everything. So you wondered what's this going to be like. Now, he's not a big bantamweight, so the cut to flyweight, thought, okay, it shouldn't be crazy, but as I mentioned last time out, people, the big question would be the chin, because we've seen people cut down and the chin just doesn't hold up because you're cutting all that water away and it just takes away, right? Takes away from you. So that was the big question coming into this fight. And people, straight away you could see Kara France, he understood. He does not want to get caught by Garbrandt. So he's evasive, he's moving, right? And it's pretty fast. It's a fast fight. He's attacking the body, attacking the head, and he just uncorks an overhand right that puts Garbrandt down. And you're like, what? What? Now, Garbrandt, he gets up. He gets up, he's looking a little wobbly, and Cara France drops him again with another right. Drops him again with another overhand right. Now, Garbrandt, right? Because he's a division, I think he's a Division 1 wrestler, right? Gets a takedown. Gets a takedown when you think, oh, super smart. Super smart. But Cara France, yeah, I mean, he understands, right? And he extricates himself from the situation. So they're back to standing. And oh man, Cara France hits him with an uppercut, puts Garbrandt down, and just is dropping bombs until the referee calls it. It's a bust, people. Cara France gets the biggest win of his UFC career and sets up some big fights. Now, he before this fight, he was saying if he gets a win, title fight. That's a title fight. Now, one thing Cormier did mention, maybe he gets matched up with Manuel Camp, right? Him and Camp, and then the winner challenges for the belt, which not bad fight. Not bad fight, right? So it'll be interesting because both finished their fights early. So you kind of think, right? Maybe they throw that on the January pay-per-view, right? Maybe they can sneak it on the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And then you've got a backup fight in case anyone gets injured. But yeah, I'd love to see that one. I'd love to see that one. And people, that's the prelims. Well, main card. That's the prelims. No, it's the main card. Well, it is our non-title portion of the main card, people, and absolutely fire. So another 2 finishes. So what happened in our title fights? Well, people, let's